Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Doctor Who Cares Reviews, where we were just pondering a moment ago in the back room how to tackle this episode without going right to the thing that I called. I called it last week. Called it. I mean, it wasn't a big danger out on a limb prediction, but I called it.
I was upset I was wrong. I was expecting pounding.
Yeah,
I thought there'd be a little bit more. Maybe in the
there wasn't time. In all the nothing that happened in this episode, there wasn't time. And anyway, so welcome one and all across all the channels. We're happy to have you all with us this evening. Hit those like buttons, subscribe to the channels, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the show, what you're watching now or on the replay. Hail to everybody in the chat. And hail to Legatus, here to keep the peace across all three. I give Legatus a lot of harshness sometimes, but he's covering all three of our chats right now as a moderator. So thank you, Legatus, for helping out here.
Badass.
Thank you. But hail, Matthew. Listen, thank you. We're glad that you come back and enjoy this. Thank you very much. Hail everyone else. See you guys. Hail Divining Dragon. Hail anybody else just chatting, not watching. And hey, say hi to the bot. Hi, Bot Rix.
He said he's ignoring at the Botrix.
I know. He's finally given up. Hail, everybody. All right, so here we are. We're all here. We're all here. We thought Dermy might not make it tonight because of being out and about touching grass today, but he made it. And Dermy,
that's what he says he was doing. He was actually so excited from the gay man kiss that he just had to go wank one out really good.
I mean, I did wank a few out, but it wasn't because of the man kiss.
Okay. I gotta say, they even made Millie Gibson look unattractive in this.
It's because of those dresses at the time. They're not very
and the hairstyle. That hairstyle doesn't work on her. I'll be honest. You got to do something to distract from the scar in her eyebrow. You got to do something to distract from that.
I like that scar.
I'm not saying I don't like it, but a nice hairstyle. I'm not always looking at it. And today I was always looking at it. So hey, listen. I got a scar in my eyebrow, but you can't see it because it's just small. I ran into a pole once. It was retarded.
I gave my brother a scar like that by throwing my other brother into him. So
that's brother baseness right there.
Oh yeah, my siblings were all within 4 years, so they're like a year and 2 years younger than me. But I was always double their size. So yeah, we wrestled on the trampoline. I threw one into that, like straight up, grabbed him by the ankles, swung him Hulk style.
That's awesome. See, I didn't have a little brother, so I had to abuse the little brothers of my friends. And one in particular, we used to all sit on his head and fart. Yeah. Hey, there were limitations what we could do, but that was what we could do and get away with. Anyway, that's what we're here to. We're not here to talk.
We'd much rather talk about that than this episode.
We'd much rather to talk about using kids as weapons.
We're delaying it. So, Dermy, how you doing? You feeling okay today?
I'm good. I'm fine. I got a new phone. Here's what it is, and yeah, man kiss. There's some dumb stuff. Like there's stuff to point out. Like it's stupid. How did this all work? It's a lot of contrivances and just things work out. And
things happen.
Like
it's
Bridgerton.
I 100% believe that this episode was pitched as gay Bridgerton, and they didn't think about it beyond that. That's all that they're priorities.
Jed, I just saw you, so I know you're fine. But your point is, what happens? Why are they even there? So that Millie Gibson Ruby can have Bridgerton Day?
Yeah, that seems to be the motivation because she says Bridgerton like 27 times.
They really wanted you to know Bridgerton.
They're there so she can go to a party and pretend to be nobility, but here's the thing. They're in this party. And first of all, Jeremy, you brought this up. I'm going to go with something Jeremy said to me in the back room before we got started. They're mocking cosplaying in this. I feel like they're mocking cosplaying.
I didn't say that. That was Jed.
Yeah,
that was Jed. Oh, was you? Oh.
Yeah, but no,
Okay.
I 100% believe that, and these stands are never going to realize that because there are some criticisms being labeled from the show and the people who watch the show, like the whole Gen Z thing last week. Gen Z are the only people caring, myself excluded, about the current state of this show. And so digging at them and their, attachment to their phones. I know there's the other argument with that, but it's there. And then with this one being like, oh, stupid cosplayers, God, what is wrong with you? And they clearly don't understand what cosplaying is because apparently battle mode, she has, I cosplayed turn on battle mode, one of the dumbest things to happen. And apparently the psychic earpiece also changes how you smell. So,
yeah, they just kind of threw that one in there, didn't
it wasn't because of the smell, it was because she was too close to
no
chick.
No, it actually says
the Duchess specifically said, the psychic device.
The cheap psychic earring changed how she smelled.
Yes,
so they didn't smell.
They
that she was human.
specifically said that.
Yeah, they said it.
None of the rules made sense in this episode. No, I'm trying to go from point.
Drove me crazy. There's a battle mode.
And why would the psychic paper say you're hot or I'm hot?
It's fucked up in the past in ways like not like that.
Not like this.
Well,
not
I thought he was clearly trained with higher technology. I thought he would see right through the psychic paper.
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, the psychic paper, what are you trying to do? But no, I'm hot.
Is this the first time we've seen the psychic paper this season?
No.
Wait.
I thought we saw it in Space Babies.
I don't think we did.
No. Didn't we see it in Boom?
No.
Boom or Devil's Cord?
We didn't see it in Devil's Cord at all. That was actually a complaint. He never pulled out the
we complained about that
at all.
Okay.
I think it's been pulled out once. It was either Space Babies or Boom.
I definitely remember him using it, but
and it didn't work.
I'm not sure where.
And it didn't work.
Wait, no, I think he used it in the Christmas special, and that was it.
I'm not counting that.
I think that was the only other time he's used the psychic paper.
He used it on Ruby's mom in the Christmas special.
And on Ruby.
Well,
yeah, he definitely used it in the Christmas special. Like when he met Ruby, he showed it to her. But I'm pretty sure he did it in the last few episodes too.
Well, he wasn't in the past 2 episodes, so
as in this season, as in the actual season.
And yes, the Doctor was in this episode. Here's what I find funny, because I make fun of this by saying Ncuti Gatwa is cosplaying the Doctor. Mm-hmm. And here they were cosplaying Bridgerton, but I keep bringing this back up over and over again, and I know I'm broken record on it. The Doctor doesn't need to change his clothes when he goes into anywhere he goes, because of who he is. It doesn't matter. His presence makes him automatically accepted. And having Ncuti Gatwa completely swap clothes
and that god awful wig.
Why does he have a pompadour? Why do any of the black dudes in this diversity fest?
You bring that up. This is an example, like they're saying in the chat. Bridgerton isn't a historically accurate story. And so they're really going to actual Bridgerton and not the real world, because they would have delved into the racism aspect. Bridgerton ignores it, so they have to ignore it. But apparently homophobia is still a thing.
Well, homophobia is a thing, but also like another argument, like Bridgerton ignores it, so they have to ignore it. They've ignored it in the past, back during RTD's run when they went to Victorian Italy, or was that London? Victorian London to meet Shakespeare, but it was like they're there, okay, move on. But it wasn't. They weren't lords. They weren't,
I think aristocracy. I do think it's better to ignore it, because that's just not the type of show this is. But it's funny that they do it in other episodes and they're so racial focused, but because it's Bridgerton.
Remember, last week was all about racism, and how
that was the future.
And that's the future, where usually it kind of has moved beyond it. But no, here we are. We're in the early 1800s, and listen, I spotted many black people. I spotted a couple Asians. There were a couple of Asians.
Well, the one chick that Ruby spent most of the episode.
There's some Asian in there. There was some Asian in there. And when the Duchess goes out before she gets ganked, one of those ladies was Asian.
A terrible job.
Remember, for those who want to know, that's also lady who punched a stormtrooper in Obi-Wan.
She was in Game of Thrones. She's been in a lot of stuff.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that was Lady Punch Stormtrooper and Obi-Wan. Just punched him right in the head, knocked him out. Go ahead.
We're saying lady. I'm gonna let you finish your point, but what were the Choda's name?
Duchess?
We got we never got any names, and they're genderless because they specifically say they switch between men and women. So
yeah.
Oh, and we did get a they them, I believe.
Ooh, where? I might have missed
mentioned what's his bucket Rogue when he was talking about his ex-partner. He said, and then they left me. Because this was a ship for two. They specifically mentioned who was your partner. It was a singular.
Could have said, listen, you're already gay. Could have just said he.
I think they were trying to do the whole we're keeping a mystery that he's gay. It's like, no, he's gay. We can tell he's gay. This is like modern day coming out shit. This is like modern day coming out shit. Guys, I'm gay.
I gotta ask you something.
Already knew.
Was it just me, or did they change the plating color on the Sonic remote control? Yes, it was purple, wasn't it? Wasn't it blue, and now it's purple?
Yeah,
it's blue now. It's pink.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I wasn't crazy.
He rarely uses the Sonic. I mean, I hate the Sonic design, but
What I was gonna say. So he's trapped in the ship, and he walks into that job, gets trapped in the suspension. He's getting burned up, and when he's just keeps turning on the radio, which was just retarded.
He just wanted everyone to know how gay he was. I tell you, this is gay Bridgerton. The only words every scene is this gay or is this Bridgerton? Those are your two options.
He's trapped there, and he's clearly been able to hack into the ship with it. He just hands it over to him.
He barely fights. Like he's coy with it, but he's
like, you.
Like I think they would have said "I love you" if the episode had continued, and that
But that's the thing. Like
actually engaged. Like the stands. Like, oh my god, he's got to find his fiance.
Oh god, he hands over the sonic screwdriver, and then freaks out that the dude has a sonic screwdriver now. It's like, but you handed it to him. You gave it to him.
Yeah.
Why are you freaking out?
Yeah, it's just here. Just here, take it. Just take it.
And we finally got a good look at what the sonic screwdriver can do now. It has an eyepiece and the most retarded position ever. And why do you need an eyepiece to find dice on the table when the table's right in front of you?
I'm going right to that. I'm going right to that. Those dice right there. That is the lamest. Oh, look, we appreciate gamers thing. First of all, listen. I have a drawer full of dice right behind me. They're all my die that I've collected over the year. They're in there. Do I have each and every one of those? Yes, but no legitimate tabletop gamer just has one of each sitting there. That's not how we are. We've got 5 or 6 of everyone. That's what we have.
Well, you need to roll. Yeah, you got to roll several, like 2D sometimes. So
yeah, and so you don't just have one of each. And honestly, most people don't use a D4. I had to use it. It was my little extra twist I put on things for if you didn't roll a natural 20 for double damage, I let you roll D4, and if you rolled a 4, you got double damage, and you could roll for triple damage if you got a natural 20. That was my whole thing. But nobody, unless a weapon is a D4, nobody used D4. It's just to see it's like, oh look, gaming die aren't it? Look, nerds.
Well, the reason they had it there was because
his name.
Rogue's name was Rogue. When he introduces himself, it's like
it's retarded.
Well, when they introduce himself, it's like, oh, could he possibly be a Time Lord? No, he's Rogue because of fucking Dungeons and Dragons, and then it's obviously they're trying to do like a shitty Jack.
Oh,
and it just fails.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be a time agent going into this. Was my assumption, but
that's what
I got a joke out of it that I mentioned earlier to you guys. It felt like they were the roll for insight was a roll for Gaydar to figure out he was gay. I thought that was awful.
Wait, are they calling Dungeons and Dragons players gay?
Maybe.
I don't know.
They clearly don't understand anything that they're referencing. They don't understand how cosplay works. Battle mode is not cosplay. Taking over people's lives and actually living them. That's not cosplay.
In actual defense, Wizards of the Coast has made Dungeons and Dragons pretty gay. They've made it pretty gay. That's true. Gay. They've made it very gay.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the cosplay thing. The whole concept of these 4 bird people are going to cosplay their way to destroying the world.
We're going to cosplay this planet to death.
I don't even get their fucking powers. So you shoot electricity somehow, I
How
guess
does it work?
absorb a person's life force and then become them. But when it comes to the wedding scene, you do it just to steal a guy's clothes. You don't even become him. So
yeah, and then at the same time, they just leave those dead bodies lying everywhere.
yeah, they're retarded.
You think they'd be smarter about it because you can compare one to the other. It's like, hey, this is the Duchess. That's the Duchess. Like, it's suspicious.
Yeah. We've done Doctor Who with shapeshifter before. A smart shapeshifter, when we've seen as a villain in Doctor Who or any show, usually eliminates the original body so they can continue to pass off. But these ones, it's like, oh, we're just leave dead bodies lying everywhere, and people are gonna find them because we're so high on our cosplaying bad actions or desire to cause chaos and murder. What?
Because they're I don't.
And did I want to make sure I heard this right. I might have misheard this. Did at some point Rogue say that they're televising this to other people?
The doctor said that Bridgerton's been televised throughout the universe, so they're all fans of Bridgerton, so they went there to portray Bridgerton.
I might have been doing something else at the same time, so I might have only heard part of that.
But they were in love with Bridgerton too, so
yeah,
they're saying that the bird people are bad for doing exactly the same thing that Ruby was, without the murder, of course. But she was trying to
wanted to get railed. Come on.
But then the first chance she has to get railed, she's like, "Oh my god, sexism," and walks away.
Mm-hmm. She really goes hard in the feminism.
Oh, yeah.
Modern day bullshit.
She has to keep telling to what eventually turned into other bird girl.
Bird girl.
The whole she's just laying on thick. You can be so much more. You can do this. You can do that. What's going on here? What are you gonna take her with you? Drop her in the 21st century?
Like she started following them because of Bridgerton, and I want to watch the salacious action. And it's like, dude, this is boring. This is lame. And honestly, I don't even watch Bridgerton. I have no interest in Bridgerton. It looks stupid as all hell. And all I'm thinking is this looks like over emotional acting from a high school play.
It's bad
melodramatic. Yeah, it's melodramatic and crappy.
It's soap opera without the hot people, because that's one of the things soap opera usually has going for it. At least there's hot people in it. It's just a soap opera without hot people. And
we had Emily, but those dresses don't do them. Those dresses are bad, and those hair.
It's all ridiculous. So what we have here, then, we've been dancing around it, so we might as well just frolic towards it. This whole episode, everything they do is just so we could have man kiss.
Mm-hmm.
All it was. Just so we had a man kiss, and so Ncuti Gatwa can cry again.
Ugly cry, not just cry. Ugly
really
cry.
Bad.
Yeah,
that was twice.
I mean, everybody's seen it at this point, so I'm going to bring it up here. We'll share it with the wait, Adam, you got to open it up first. There is I was watching it, and as I was watching it, I'm going to zoom in on it too. As I was watching it, I just stopped and I said, "Screenshot." And this encapsulates Ncuti Gatwa in this episode. So here you go, everybody.
It's so.
That is the definition of ugly crying.
Did you realize he didn't save the day in this episode?
Yep, he did not say. You are exactly correct. I was going to get there. He didn't save the day again. He did for a moment. You think, oh, look, he got them into the trap. The doctor actually did something, and he's sort of giving a doctor speech. What?
I don't even know how he succeeded in doing that.
Yeah, how did those other two things, the two other pieces of it, get there? And none of this needed to happen based on the rules that they establish after this, which is wild. Apparently, you can just step on and someone else can step off. That wasn't established, and that looked awful.
I mean, that didn't feel right.
You could have just done that with the actual bird lady that he threw on there. Just take a second, grab her, throw her on, grab Ruby. Like, he could have done that all at once. but
exchanging, because Ruby and
this
Rogue
didn't need
do
to
not
happen.
share. They do not share the same mass. He is bigger than her, so you can't say it was it required. It doesn't.
It's not an Indiana Jones thing, but yeah, it locks their feet to the ground. So how do you
did he get her out?
He just pushed
changed
her.
The rules. They changed the rules because this is also retarded. So he's ugly crying here, as Dermy says, and I really like that term, ugly crying. He's ugly crying here because Ruby decided to cosplay evil bird people because she turned on, as we mentioned before, she turned on auto fight.
Why did she cosplay as the evil bird people? She accomplished nothing. She didn't know there was going to be a wedding, but she was prepared for the wedding. She didn't go try to find the doctor. She was alone. I mean, like the other bird person showed up, the owl dude who was going to marry her. But like, why did she do any of this? We never found out. Why didn't she battle mode the other dude?
Yeah, and so she battle mode him out. She battle mode him and broke her beak.
Chick, yeah.
Battle mode and broke her beak.
And it was not that beak.
And that was a horrible. That was hideous. Such bad choreography.
That was really bad.
When they teased it at the beginning of the episode, never turn on battle mode, I thought we were going to get super kung fu. I mean,
well, they just.
Here's where if they took Acolyte Kung Fu and put it in here, it would be horribly believable. Supposedly Acolyte where it doesn't work. So just why didn't you do that?
Because they're retarded, but they just did it because they also wanted to throw in modern day music in orchestral form.
Yeah,
you're right.
Which doesn't work. I like orchestral music, even modern day songs and orchestral music, but they use like 3 modern day songs in orchestral form for 18 whatever. They wouldn't know that song. They wouldn't know these beats. They wouldn't do that. You need them to do like Beethoven. You need to have like actual music. There's tons of orchestral period pieces that would have fit each and every single scene. The only time that it works is when it's in the dude's bird ship.
But Dermy, that would require research.
That's too
time.
Difficult.
Yeah.
There's way too. I just realized another thing that the whole trap contradicts. Their whole thing about we have to lock them down all at once. If there's a switch out protocol or just an ad thing, throw someone on while it's charging up and they get locked down too. There was no need to trap them all at once. They have to be standing in the right spot.
Yeah.
They don't care about rules. The rules are there to fill dialogue. They're padding the runtime.
Yeah. So they get.
I watched this. I watched this at 2 times speed because I watched it regular last night. Then I watched it at 2 times speed today, and I'm like, this whole episode is 30 minutes long. There's nothing here. It's just padding. It's just filling. You don't need anything.
It's padding to get to Dr. Gay Kiss and to have him be useless because right here he is useless. Ruby has gotten herself trapped because, as you just said, she's an idiot. She has no plan. A real companion would have gone off to find the doctor, not inserted herself into this without any sort of unknown, without any knowledge of what's going on. So she inserts herself in there, gets trapped, and then Doctor, it's me. The real doctor, I don't know, would have figured out how to get her out of there instead of just he says to her, Rogue says to him, "Oh, you're going to can you sacrifice her to save everything?" No.
But the real doctor would have just gone, "No, like absolutely not. This isn't a evil the sad crying. Like he'd figure out another way."
Yeah,
but
always another way. Yeah.
Again, the rules don't make sense because it kind of seems like the Chota, when they take over somebody's body, they also get their memories and stuff so they can at least interact in the world the way they should be interacting. So then if Chota Ruby is like, nothing would have convinced him, because if the Chota have the memories, then she could have just said anything and it could have still been a Chota.
And it also doesn't make sense in that moment they've all revealed themselves.
Yeah, for the wedding. So
she would be in her bird mode if it was her. And I'm bringing this up too. So part Asian chick who turns out to be a bird lady who Ruby spends all the time talking about feminism with.
A black bird lady. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she goes from Asian to black bird lady. When did she switch? Was she always bird lady?
I think so. I mean, Ruby was with her for the majority of the episode. She was just cosplaying, rejecting the.
Okay, so that's my question. Dude. So when they were alone, they were doing it for themselves without an audience?
I guess cosplaying alone has its merits.
I mean,
I cosplay alone a lot, but I don't to public
certain types of cosplay when you're alone. You know, hello, officer, lady officer. If you pull me over,
that's just role playing.
What can I do to get out of this ticket? You know what I'm saying?
But
you know what I'm saying? But I mean,
Jed, you just said it. That's role playing. That's not cosplay.
Yeah, there's a difference.
I know you're ruining my joke.
No, it's more
all over
LARPing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though.
No. Your point is well made. We're just criticizing the episode.
Yeah. But it doesn't make sense in that moment that they're putting on a show just for themselves. If we're doing this, and you got it right. You just said it though. My attempt at the joke aside, that there's a difference. Cosplaying and LARPing are two different things, and those who know the term LARPing, live action role playing, there's two different things, and they don't LARP in this. They haven't been LARPing. They don't even well,
they've been LARPing, but then they're saying that that's cosplay. It's
it's all over the place. It's all over the place.
Yeah, cosplay doesn't include taking over a government and making an empire to kill all people who don't look British.
Which, I mean, if we look at to be honest, if we look at this world right now, that who doesn't look British?
Yeah, how diverse that England was.
I was going to say that all the diversity all over that party, a lot of them didn't look that century British to me.
Well, and that line in and of itself is really bad, but we can compare it to another movie we watched recently, Adam. I believe it was in Last of the Mohicans, the line, we must make the world England.
Yeah.
Remember that? That's it's the same mentality, but it's such a better context with much better line, dialogue.
Dealing with manifest destiny, that type of thought process. We have to make the world our way of thinking, our beliefs, our kingdom, not we have to racism everybody. That's what it is. We have to racism everybody. This show doesn't care about a story. It doesn't, because I saw the chat asking it. We're asking it. What's the story in this? There's
6 bird people wanted to play Bridgerton along with Ruby, and they wanted a Bridgerton episode where Doc Gay Shooty Gatwa does man kiss. And they even had to shove in the grandma. It's like she's
finding some way to add her in.
Well, they had to get Susan in there next week. Next week it's all gonna be revealed, I guess.
And it's the 2-parter. It's releasing both next week, right? So next week's our last one for Christmas.
No, we found out we're wrong. We were wrong. They're only all right. We'll talk about this more in a bit, but they are releasing both episodes next week in the theater, but they're only airing the first one.
What? If you're going to release both in theaters, you wait till the second week.
That means there's going to be people out there running around with the knowledge of what's going to happen a week from that point.
That's retarded.
I feel like I need to buy a plane ticket just for a day.
Jeremy, you'll get murdered if you go to London.
Well, that's true.
How many people do you think are actually going to watch it? It might end up on a Pirate Bay site, and we can do this both back to back anyway.
Maybe we'll find out. But
we'll end up on Daily Motion or something like that.
God, it's clearly somebody didn't think this through. Somebody did not think it through.
Do you think somebody's thinking when they're making this at all?
I know. But, no, they are thinking let's have gay marriage proposal.
It's and then storytelling. The only time they finally set something up, and it was stupid. But it's always and then. There's nothing else. Hell, this wasn't even Doctor Who. I keep saying it, but take a look at Rogue Ship. That's not a ship from Doctor Who. That's a bird. It's a fucking falcon. When have you ever seen something
bird episode? So everything's bird themed.
But it's so gaudy. It's so fucking gaudy. It's over the top. It has a specific look, and it's like this doesn't feel like Doctor Who ships. This was written.
This episode wasn't even written by Russell T Davies. It was written by 2 people who
2 women, I believe,
who have
that explains
no concept. A lot. They have no concept.
I'm actually looking them up right now.
Okay, but they
all worked on Bridgerton.
Oh, please.
All right.
Please.
The one lady, Kate Herron, she's known for Loki and Sex Education and Daybreak.
Oh, that's winning. That's winning.
Oh, Sex Education. That's where we got this.
Yeah, Shooter got what? But
wait,
if you guys haven't seen Daybreak, no, just Daybreak.
Oh,
it's a zombie show. It is terrible. There's a 10-year-old girl going around about how much she hates cis white men in the zombie apocalypse.
Wait, are we thinking of the same one, or end up having black samurai dude that's gay for weird buff white guy who can't speak and just grunts the whole time?
I have no idea.
No, it's all about teenagers. Like the zombie apocalypse only affects adults, so only teenagers are alive in the world.
Yeah.
It's just Daybreak.
We're talking about the same thing, and then it turns out like the girl the main character has been hunting for the entire time becomes bad because girl boss.
All right, and the other person, I can't pronounce that name, known for the Inside Man.
Well, Judy wanted to be that Inside Man.
Oh God.
Oh, those are actress credits. For writer, this is the first thing she's ever written as a writer.
It shows.
Let me check the other one to make sure.
Were you looking at the right one?
Oh, no. I was looking at all the credits. Maybe those other ones were acting too.
Yeah.
Okay, writer. This is her first writing one as well. So both writers.
Wow, it totally shows.
The Kate one, she's directed a bunch of stuff, but this is her first writing one, and they're co-writing The Sims together, which is in development later.
So the more I'm looking at all this, it explains a lot about who they are. They're not anything. They're failed. They have a particular style of writing that isn't good.
They don't have a style. They've never done it
You're
before.
Looking forward to The Sims? That's going to be super gay.
Well, everything we're bringing up here, it's who they are. They're women. They're modern day feminist women creature
who think Bridgerton is awesome.
Yeah.
This explains everything. These are people who have no foundation in writing. They have no foundation in accurate storytelling, which is why they're perfectly happy to make diversity Bridgerton real. Because you said the point. Shooty Gott was yelling, the whole world loves Bridgerton, so they want to come experience it, or the universe loves Bridgerton, a universe which still hasn't been fixed from whatever the hell the
flux.
So they're all coming here to look at it.
And the doctor said he would take Rogue to Gallifrey. According to the Jodie Whittaker era, Gallifrey is an empty husk. All Time Lords are dead. It's still there. So maybe he can just go see the dead bodies or what's left of them that were made into Cybermen. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Yeah. Apparently, they've worked on other shows together before. They've worked on a show called Smear as a writer.
Okay. Yeah. IMDb just said one upcoming writing,
and then run toward them. Well, one upcoming, which is Sam, and then 9 previous on Kate and 4 on the other lady.
Yeah, that didn't come up for me. It's weird.
So it's still worthless. We've never heard of these things. These are things that clearly have no sort of standing in entertainment. These are people who don't know how to create a story, because there is no story in this except man kiss and gay marriage.
One of them. Both Daybreak and Sex Education, that explains a lot here. Daybreak was as Jed said, it was a horrific modern day bullshit show filled with identity politics. Sex Education, Shooty comes from Sex Education.
That's his claim to fame before this.
I hate that Asa Butterfield's in that show. I really like him.
It's just they wanted to fap to Bridgerton. That's all it is.
Yep.
They have no sci-fi writing. Dude, I'm not even counting fucking Loki as sci-fi writing because that's a failed show.
It's MCU.
They have no reason to be here to write this. It was just Bridgerton, modern day storytelling, man kiss, and moving on. Which man kiss wasn't even groundbreaking, revolutionary. Guess what? Back in fucking Dr. Karen days, because I keep forgetting her goddamn name, she fucking kissed Yasmin at the end.
No, sort of.
And how many times has Captain Jack kissed a guy in Doctor Who?
Well, Captain Jack kissed the Doctor.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't
romantic or anything. Yeah, it wasn't sexual.
Yeah,
The Doctor
and that's
kept Jack for the fun of it. This is not like groundbreaking, revolutionary storytelling.
This is sexual, though. This is meant to be the Doctor has met his new soulmate, and he wants him. He keeps his ring. He puts it on his pinky finger.
I'm surprised he didn't put it on his ring finger to actually be engaged.
I knew he wasn't going to do it because it wasn't going to fit. It was too small. I thought that's no way that I knew he was going to put it on his pinky just because it was a small ring. It was not going to fit his ring finger. Even though
he fell in love in an hour.
They were ready because fucking Rogue can't act. Well, he can't act in the show itself, but
he is a very good actor, though.
I don't know who he is, so I have no idea.
I
mainly know him from Mindhunters. Mindhunters is incredible. He's the star of that. I highly recommend that to people.
Okay, I'll check it out. But like in this particular, Rogue says that he can't act. He doesn't know how to cosplay. He doesn't know how to do anything. So when he's getting down on one knee to propose, that's his true feelings there.
Yeah, that was a real
and then
proposal.
How Shooty responds was real. Those were not acting moments. Those were real moments, and they just kind of brushed by it.
Yeah, that was.
And they fell in love at a party, and then wanted to get married at a party because
and that's all they wanted.
All Shooty wanted to do was be inside me. Wait, fuck.
Okay, at 36 minutes, I'm gonna come back for that.
Definitely have to clip that out.
Yeah, I'm going to. Listen. I've been let a few go over the past few weeks, different shows. That is.
I fucked that one up.
Yep. There you go. Guess what's going to end
up
in the ball?
I was trying to redo a fucking.
Guess what's going in the Ballbusters chat room when we're done here?
Guess what? We'll probably. You know what? If we're in Pride Month on Ballbusters, I'll throw that shit on the fucking.
Oh, I'm gonna clip it when we're done here. I'm gonna do it right away. I got time before we got to start Saturday. I got time, so I'm gonna do it right away before I forget. But in all serious respect to this whole thing is structured so that it is Pride. It's all about Pride bullshit. This episode was specifically set up to air at this moment. Am I wrong?
No,
I'm not wrong. No,
we thought you guys were saying last week's episode was gay. I mean, this is gay. This is gay.
Last week's was gay and lame.
Yeah.
This is full on. Look at us. Look at man kiss. Look at man on man proposal. Look at undying man love. And there you go. Look at they them birds who could swap genders. Look at it. It's all there. It's all there. Because that's all they freaking care about. We are going into episode 7 next week. Have we done anything to build up? And I saw somebody mention in the chat earlier. Have we done anything to build up the villain of the season, the overarching villain story? Anything?
Susan's been in every episode.
That's
that doesn't get no.
I know.
Well, to Adam's point, in the past, and particularly RTD's run, they've built up to something. They've had little things laid all over the place that builds up to an ultimate reveal. You know, beginning Bad Wolf. You then go to like the end of Tennant's run. It ended up being the Daleks doing not. This is before the end of Tennant's run, but the Daleks rounding up all the planets, taking them out of time, and they were like building up to something. What have we built up to? What have we done? All we have is Susan everywhere. And I pose we pose this question over and over again. What episodes do we actually need to watch thus far for any actual plot and story to the overarching season?
Well, how? Go ahead, Jed.
Oh, I'm just going to say, all these episodes, it feels like we could watch in any order, too. Like, some Doctor Who episodes in the past could be anywhere in the season, but there was a sense of continuation, a sense of character development. After midnight, you saw a physical change in him for a few episodes, just in his mannerisms, because of how much that affected him. Like, these episodes had to go in a certain order for the most part. These ones don't need to be in any sort of order. You can pretty much watch the Christmas special, and then I'm guessing you can go into the finale and just say, oh, by the way, this random chick, she showed up in every episode, but they're going to show you 20 flashbacks of it, I'm sure.
You're absolutely right, because you think about it like this. In every previous real Doctor Who season, you're right. There are sometimes you can say, okay, maybe I can watch this episode out of order. But you can pick out when things happen because characters have actual development and change. Companions feel different depending on what's up. Whether you like it or not, and most of us don't like it, you know when you're past Clara just being a companion and when she's trying to be the Doctor. You feel changes in Amy. You feel changes in Real Rose. You feel everything. There are points where we realize, okay, they've gone through shit, that we've had character development. Ruby feels the exact same way the minute we met her in Christmas
she's not even like particularly more brave or assertive. Like at first, Rose is very nervous, very much like, what do I do? What do I do? But by the end of it, she's fully going on her own, wandering off, solving problems. Yeah. And that's the case for most companions. Of course, they start shy and then they build up confidence to the point where it doesn't matter what expertise they have. Unit wants them because of how assertive they are. Yeah. And they made the joke about that in the last episode. It's like, you don't want Ruby. She will provide Unit nothing.
Yeah, and of course I don't want to leave out Donna. Track Donna's literal progress as a character throughout her entire run. That's a true character arc and story of everything she goes through and becomes and what she turns into at the end. Dr. Donna. It's an actual thing. Ruby's done nothing. All she wants to do is go to Bridgerton, go to the beach, and you can't
shallow.
It's so shallow. You can't count 73 yards because guess what? Didn't happen.
Well, you can count 73 yards in the sense that they wanted to go to Wales.
No, I mean, but she didn't do anything really in the episode, though. The whole Prime Minister thing was pointless, non-assertive.
Yeah, her whole story in there, that even aside, it doesn't matter because it never happened.
Yeah.
Flip. They erased it.
And another thing that sets her apart from the previous episodes is every companion's, at least introduction, or at least when they become the companion, they prove themselves to the Doctor by making a decision or doing something. Like, he realized, all right, this person is worthy to be in the TARDIS. There is something special about them. The only thing with her is it snows when she gets sad. Like in the Christmas special, she didn't really do shit in that. It's not like she helped, like Martha helping to save people, figuring things out, solving the problem in the end on her own, bringing the Doctor back, at least saving the Doctor's life. That's pretty big.
Yeah. And here's what I was thinking of today when they hit the moment of, can you sacrifice her? First of all, I feel no connection between Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson as Doctor and Ruby. Nothing. I feel nothing. Friend. She's my best friend. When I was watching this, my mind was flinging through episodes, and it stopped on the Matt Smith episode where he and Rory and Amy go to that planet where
the girl who waited,
where she gets trapped.
Yeah, the girl who waited.
That's a title. Okay, I don't know titles. I'm terrible at titles. Yeah, and I think that is hardcore Doctor dealing with a crisis with his companion, where it's still her, but it's a her that shouldn't be. And if they do something, they can go back and fix it. But that's just where my mind jumped watching this and how the Doctor made a hard decision to sacrifice a version of someone he loved. He loved Amy.
You know,
he doesn't there's nothing with Ruby, though. Sorry, but there's nothing with Ruby. There's nothing.
No, Miss J actually brings it up. Rogue is a better character than Ruby. There's more interest in Rogue.
He did more this episode.
Yeah,
she did.
True.
He at least has something. There's stuff I know they could never actually write him, and I highly doubt they're ever going to bring him back. But there's something there. I want to know, who's your big boss? What's going on here? If you were good writers, I would like you to delve into Rogue.
Who hired you to do this? You're a bounty hunter. Yeah. Who wanted these people captured?
Well,
that could have been a connection to something.
It is a connection. Where when they first got onto his ship, he said, ever since we got the new boss, that has been something set up too, with
right.
He Who Waits or whatever. That's I believe that's a setup to He Who Waits or whatever.
Well, it's pretty bad because
it's very bad.
I remember that line now, and all I thought was, oh, are they setting up something? But my mind would not go to He Who Waits.
I didn't go there either. I was like, was it a rumor or was it confirmed that they were going to be going up against bounty hunters at one point? There was a bounty hunter that was supposed to be a big bad that was played by a trans actor, or are they them actor?
I don't know anything about that.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I saw that. I thought that was a promotional material for something. It was not
the fact that
they never did anything with them.
The fact that they're emphasizing so hard the he parts of he who like for them pronouns is a big deal and sexism and whatnot. I bet you it's gonna be the Susan chick, the one who spread throughout time, and it's sexism that they assume the big bad was going to be a he or the person in charge was he, and everyone just assumes Susan's a he or underlings.
I do honestly want to know what's going on here, just because I want to know what stupid plot they come up with surrounding her. Well, I'm curious. I am actually curious. I just want to know how stupid it's going to be.
If you watch the preview for next week's episode, it looks like they're bringing in well, they have Unit coming in, but like they show a glimpse of some sort of creature thing of
her, a version of her. Yeah,
it looks like a Borg.
That's what I thought too.
Let's remember. Go finish your thought.
Oh, that was it. I immediately thought of the Borg as well.
I saw it in there in the blip. I just thought, oh look, that's a weird version. But we got so many things. Talk about this and talk about next week's episode. First with her. If he's so concerned about her, how come he hasn't mentioned yet that he's concerned he's seeing the same person everywhere? That's the first time. That is
they mentioned it even in the last episode.
They mentioned it like once.
They mentioned 73 yards. Yeah, in 73 yards, Ruby noticed it when they met. It's like, hey, you're kind of familiar. And then in Dot and Bubble, when they saw the picture of racist lady's mom, it's like, hey, she looks really familiar. Yeah, we keep seeing her. Like the Dr. Ruby on the screen did mention
guess you're right.
each other.
I guess you're right. But they haven't really dwelled on it to make it a thing.
I would be concerned. All right. I would actually put some brain power into it.
Especially if I get that he's Doctor's clone. But if you're seeing the same thing over and over and over again across time and space, you would start going like, what the fuck's going on here? Because like we said it last week, Bad Wolf's enough. You could like, okay, Bad Wolf, whatever. But then when it starts coming together, you realize what's going on there. Planets disappearing. That's weird. What the heck? By the end of it, it's like, oh my God, that's what's going on here. They were all being taken at a certain point in time. This is like woman across all eras, Clara across all eras. We're not.
They haven't set up any sort of framework for this. There's no breadcrumbs. There's nothing. There's just look at the same lady. We heard He Who Waits in the beginning. We heard she's connected to the old god. Ruby's connected to the old gods from freaking trans beastie dude, and that's all we got. And
I still think she might be the daughter of the Harbinger.
I don't know.
The little boy from Devil's Cord.
I don't know. Well, because we're getting to next week. We saw clips, and now we know this is the Unit episode where he comes out, give me the lovin' from the trailer. We know that we're getting Man Hands Rose. Jason Noble's coming back. We know there's going to be a tiny person on a scooter.
Probably the wheelchair lady again.
She might even be in there.
She's going to be traveling in the TARDIS for one point, because remember, Shooties has the ramp.
Yeah. So, how did you like it? One point, I loved it where he said, "Why is the TARDIS making noise? It doesn't like
bounty hunters."
Yeah,
bounty hunters. Like moral void. It's reacting to the moral void.
Then why did it never freak out when it had Jack in there for the first couple of times?
Well, that's because that was the real TARDIS. It's the copy. Remember. This isn't the real TARDIS. It's just this weird thing that got created when a hammer hit the actual TARDIS. But so we got next week is now supposed to be the beginning of the end of the season, the 2-part finale. And I'm not going to lie. I'm curious from a rubbernecking perspective. I want to see this train wreck up close.
Yeah, we all like train wrecks. We want to know how this shit. I want to know what their conclusion is, because it's like, what is it? Just tell me already. Give me my hint so we can know the retardation, like you said.
I just want to know how bad. It's basically I want to know how bad it is, and that's it. I'm not interested because I'm having a good time.
I'm placing money that they're going to introduce a new species of aliens that are Cybermen but humans, and they're the Borg.
Yeah,
because
they have no original ideas, so wouldn't surprise me.
They don't.
Okay, so is he going to cry again next episode?
Absolutely. It's going to snow and he's going to cry.
Because except for 73 yards, he's cried in every episode.
Every episode that has
him. Chris special.
Every episode that has him, he has cried. I think didn't he even cry when he was regenerated?
Probably.
Well, we all cried because they were docking with each other as they did it. So let's just take stock. We're coming on to the finale here. Finale game is in play. The Doctor, and I'll use that tentatively just because I want to be able to make my statement. The Doctor and we'll go all the way to Chris special in 7 episodes now. We include Chris special. Has saved nobody. Not really. He's murdered people.
Goblins.
He's murdered goblins. Has saved nobody. Has murdered. Has killed willingly, gleefully. Has given 0 doctor speeches. It hasn't had a moment of, wow, you just grabbed a hold of the doctor mantle and made it yours. Has cried every episode he's been in, because we don't count 73 yards, because he wasn't in it.
That's a cameo.
That's a cameo. And basically requires saving from other people. Hasn't put together a single plan that's worked. Has dubious belief system. He changes his belief systems on things constantly. Because early in this episode is, we're not going to kill. Oh, no, I'm going to go ready. I'm ready to kill. I'm ready to kill.
I'm ready to let them suffer.
Or suffer. Maybe that's not kill, but it's still the same mentality. Ready to let them suffer. It's not as though he's Dr. Victorious, who's seen enough and is ready to be a god. That's
seen nothing.
Yeah. Dr. Victorious, Tennant, he earned that moment. He had freaking earned that moment of, you know what? I'm not playing by your rules anymore. I am the last man standing. This guy, I'm going to say some bad words. I'm pulling up short. Chudigatwa has done nothing, earned nothing. He hasn't faced a real threat. What can we name a threat that he's faced and conquered?
Oh, and conquered.
7 episodes. Conquered.
I was going to say racism, but no. Homophobia.
No.
Honestly, I think homophobia is the correct thing because, I mean, they did the gay here and then they didn't care.
Okay. So he conquered homophobia.
Yeah.
Since when is that a Doctor Who villain?
Since when was racism like black-white racism, not like alien species and space?
That's from the Jodie's era. Yeah.
Wait, no, I know something else he saved. The Boogie Monster.
Oh, that's right. He did save the Boogie Monster.
Which still doesn't make sense because it was a horrible creature that was wanted to kill. It had
and
no
it
redemption
wasn't
arc.
Actually alive. It was being animated by the ship's storybook protocols.
Yeah.
It has no awareness. It's not self-aware. It's just snot. They'll eat you.
Yeah.
He 100% killed all those kids. They have no way to slow down. They're just going to crash into a planet.
He also that's on record for him. Like he murdered goblins. Like he didn't even try to do anything with the goblins. He killed those goblins
in graphic fashion.
He pulled that Goblin King onto that church steeple. Oh, no, tower, whatever.
Yeah,
he killed it.
The point.
Yeah, he killed it. So I ask these questions. What has he done in 7 episodes?
Been gay.
Yep.
Danced.
That's it. He's been gay. He's kissed a man. He's shown thirst for other men. He's talked like a high school girl to Millie Gibson, Ruby Sunday. And he likes to play dress up all the time. Not even cosplay, dress up. That's not what he does. Isn't cosplay. It's dress up, so that he can feel empowered. I don't know why. It makes no sense. It breaks all the Doctor Who
rainbows.
So here we are, 2 episodes to go. They're gonna try and play off like some big story's been being told for 7 episodes.
Again, the only episodes you need is Christmas special, Devil's Cord.
You don't even need space babies.
No.
You don't even need space babies.
Like Devil's Cord does it for you. It tells you like, hey, there's something here. All Space Babies does is snow.
So there.
And Devil's Cord does snow as well.
So we've accomplished nothing in roughly 7-8 hours, give or take a few minutes of television. Nothing's been accomplished. No groundwork has been set for a story. And here we are at the end of it, and we're supposed to buy into whatever they're going to sell next week. Nope.
Well, because they're bringing back old companions yet again, because you liked them before.
This is the episode where he rides bitch on the scooter. He's gonna be riding bitch behind
that's apt for him.
Is that Mel?
Mel, yeah, behind Mel on the scooter. We know from the trailer he's gonna be holding on tight to it.
I hate that they're using Mel so much because some of that later Classic Who stuff wasn't good whatsoever. So she got the short end of a stick. So she deserved redemption, and that makes this so much worse.
Yeah. Yep. And here's what I'm going to ask this now. I'm going to ask it again next week. So we're going back to London, current time, and Jason Noble's going to be there. This doctor has nothing to do with Jason Noble.
Nope.
Why is Jason Noble going to be in this episode?
Why won't David Tennant be in the episode then? Because he lives with Jason.
But that's a different reality. Haven't we established that's a different reality?
Well, then is this a different Jason who's never met this doctor?
I don't fucking know.
That's why I'm bringing it up now. I want you thinking about this.
I'm shocked that Jason isn't the companion next season instead of Monday. I thought for sure that's what they were going to do.
It would. So if I'm using their retarded logic, Jason would be the most logical one to choose.
Yeah,
it's not good, but out of all your guys' logic, Jason's the one that
maybe
checks all the boxes.
Wait until he turns 18.
Oh,
that's only if he didn't have bottom surgery.
It doesn't matter. Oh, didn't have bottom surgery. You're right. I got that. I was still caught up on Jed's very, very, very dark suggestion.
I mean, there's a very high % chance that we won't have to worry about Jason anymore.
What is it? 47% chance?
Yeah.
This took a dark turn. Really dark turn. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Doctor Who Cares Reviews, where we talk about the important matters.
Listen, you said Jungle Monkey multiple times last night. Shit. We're also on Jed's. Now I feel bad. Fuck.
What's my channel? Listen, did you get demonetized last night?
No, but we got limited.
Well, I can always get limited on most. This show and Driver are the only two shows I don't get limited on. I always got to request a review.
I was honestly shocked we weren't full-fledged blocked or age restricted because we got bad.
We got retarded last night. We got really retarded. But so there you go. So there's all kinds of inconsistencies and stupidity next week. Here's what we got to look for next week. Are they going to mention 14 next week? And then will that question what we'll be talking about? Multiple realities, multiverse, and all that shit that they've talked about in ancillary crap outside the actual main show, but they haven't actually mentioned it in the main show. And we're supposed to buy into it. I'm just curious. And Bleeding Edge Studios, we don't know. That's what we're questioning right now. We're in the final episodes. We don't know. We have no idea.
There's a theory that the true villain of the season has been humanity.
The true villain, it's white people. Okay, let's just say it's white people.
No, the idea was that humans are evil and irredeemable, and the Doctor's fighting humans. And there's parts of it that make sense, but other parts where it's I don't.
Doesn't make sense. If that's the truth, then this week doesn't make sense. He was fighting bird people this week.
Well, and that's just so antithetical to the Doctor as a person, always seeing the good in people.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. This isn't the Doctor. The Doctor threw away the good in people at the end of the 60th, where he specifically said, "You humans are to blame for all this hate in the world." They don't know what the Doctor Who means anymore. So when I hear that the villains are the villain is in reality humanity, it kind of feels apt. But then, Adam, to your point, yes, it was bird people that were the villains this time, but humans made Bridgerton.
That is such a stretch.
I mean, the people who made Bridgerton were villains, so
they are villains. That is true. They are real villains.
Adam, I get that it's a stretch. The show just stretches.
I know. So there we are. I mean, as we said before, we didn't have any freakouts today. This is rolling our eyes at this point. And after that, it's time to ask the question we ask every time. What do you think the overnights are tomorrow? We know my answer. 1.9.
I'm with you. Under 2. Under 2.
I mean, after racism last week, Dermy, you can't think.
With the exception of 4, we've seen at least a few 100,000 go down every time. So
and it did go down 500,000 last time. That's still a
drop. I don't think 150,000 to get a little bit below is a stretch.
Yeah,
I would bet. I want to say under 2, but I'm gonna say 2.
You say an even 2?
I'm gonna say around an even 2. That's my bet. Like 2.4, maybe similar to the 2.04, maybe 2.1. That's my bet right now. I know that's cheap, but there's something.
Yeah.
The stands are retarded as fuck.
Well, you're getting the
last
stands.
Week was bad.
I'm not getting any of the stands right now. You're getting more of the stands than I am. I mean, I even released a clip of what we talked about last week. Something I didn't get any pushback on it. I got nothing from the stands last week.
Last week was bad though. It was bad, and the Nielsen data for the first episode finally dropped.
Oh, do we have it?
What's not on there?
Oh,
so the data didn't drop because it didn't track. It was below in every category. We have no numbers for Doctor Who. We can gauge that it's less than a lot of things. Clarkson's Farm was on there, and that had 243 minutes watched. That's 243,000, I believe, and that's million, excuse me. And if Doctor Who's losing out to Clarkson's Farm, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's never tracking on Samba. I know Samba's inaccurate as well, but like Samba's
Samba's accurate to the extent that it's a harder number we can actually elaborate from.
And you just only ever compare Samba to Samba because of how restricted it is. But it's not even showing up in these places, so it's irrelevant. Disney's not going to cancel it yet, though, because they're contracted, because they're retarded and never cancel anything that they should.
I think they'll get through next season. I don't know if they're going to do a third season.
Yeah, no, I mean they have this contract.
They're contracting for the 2 seasons. We've said this. I think we've agreed on it. The next season Christmas special will be it. It might be
Hopefully.
They will pull the
end
plug.
of 2025. That's a good decade. 2 decades. I mean,
RTD, BBC, Disney, they have nobody but themselves to blame. The moment you made that Disney deal, the moment you did that, you doomed your show to death.
Yeah.
You're not giving it to your audience first. And then on top of that, Disney Plus is a dead streaming service.
153 million subscribers, and nobody watches anything.
They watch old stuff. My sister was talking to me how she's happy that we have Disney Plus right now because of other stuff, whatever reason. And she's like, I can watch all these old shows, Boy Meets World, all the old Disney movies. I don't care about the Boy Meets World.
Hated that show.
I
grew up. I watched it when it started, and I watched it until they went to college. And it was like, I'm always bored at this point.
I don't even know what this is that we're talking about.
It's good. You're fine.
It's a good show.
All I gotta know is one of the chicks went on to do porn eventually.
So probably more than likely. Probably the
no,
redheaded
she
one
did.
that
She
doesn't
did.
come back.
She did do porn, and I've seen it. It's not bad. Anyway, hey, of course I'm gonna go look it up. No, it wasn't her. No, I think she quit acting, I believe. Smart move.
She quit acting for a while, then she came back and did Girl Meets World.
And that flopped hard.
It did because people didn't want to reboot. I will say Girl Meets World was actually pretty good.
Well, it flopped hard.
If you liked Boy Meets World, you would like Girl Meets World. But Girl Meets World was a cheap cash grab, but it did have heart. It knew what it wanted to be, and it worked.
It was a revival that nobody asked for, is what it was.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it was. A revival nobody asked for, but they did put like effort into it. But it was a whole lot of memba.
Yeah,
it's a lot of memba berries.
Yeah, and they didn't bring back the chick who went and did porn. They didn't bring her back. But all right, so there we go. Another week down, 2 to go, and once again, inexplicably, they are airing the final 2 episodes in the theaters in the UK next Friday, but only airing 1 episode.
Do you guys think that'll hurt the overnights, especially of the next week's overnights, because people will know what the final episode's like? The word of mouth will be out there.
I don't know, because I think
care.
it's a limited. I think it's a limited viewing. I don't.
That's the thing.
Is it invite only or something?
No. I think it means limited viewing. Like, people aren't watching it. People don't care.
Well, I don't just mean that, but like it's in like select theaters. It's not all across.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know how that system. I've heard Az talk about it a little bit because it was supposed to be there, and he thought maybe I'll go check it out. But it's what it sounds like. It might only be in London, and if it's only in select theaters, then what's the point?
What's the point in the first place? There's no point. You don't have an audience for this show anymore. Even with the days later numbers come in, that's still pathetic. Nobody shows up for this show online, or they won't show up in the theater because you made a show for Twitter, for people who are activists. You haven't made it for us, who have been there for a very long time. I mean, I became a regular good fan, a fan who was interested in everything when New Who started in 2005. I'd seen a little bit before, but it didn't grab me. But I got a little older, and I started to be more interested. I started to think about these things more, and then I got interested, and then I followed it for all these years since then. But now you've lost me. I'm here to make fun of it. We're not here to enjoy this. We're here to mock it. We're here to bring entertainment to our chats so that they can kind of, get a little therapy along with us to deal with the fact that they've gone ahead and destroyed something that had been glorious for decades.
They don't know how to write anymore. They don't. No. Oh, we've been mentioning like this episode, but every episode is a retelling of something else, from whether it's old Doctor Who, they're retelling it and doing it bad, whether it's freaking Black Mirror episode, whether it's a Twilight Zone episode, it's always something from somebody else that they do horribly, and then say it's Doctor Who. It's not. These are sci-fi things, except for Bridgerton. See, it works, but no, these are.
They refuse to make a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah, these are.
That is the best way to put it, Jed. They have refused to make a Doctor Who episode this year, or when they made these last year. They've refused. They've gone out of their way to not bring in classic Who villains, and Toymaker doesn't count in the Christmas special. That doesn't count. That does not count. They've refused to bring in actual villains, classic villains, because they're not making it for people who want to see that. It's for the people who want to go, Bridgerton, yay! That's who it's for. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. But what?
I just read what Dragon. RTD admitted he didn't need to be original. Taking another story was okay since he was tailoring it to a fresh audience. No.
That's what we just said. They aren't making this for us.
So creative bankruptcy is okay if the people haven't seen what you're plagiarizing?
Yeah.
Apparently.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, he's failing at plagiarizing himself. So,
and that's the thing. He's plagiarizing himself. That's the real sad thing. He's taking from his own successful creations and creating it for a dumber audience. It's all dumbed down from what he originally did for an audience that cannot handle critical thinking. So there we are.
Well, example of people who can't understand critical thinking or aren't fans of the show. The Daily Mail is actually running with it. This is the first ever gay kiss in the Doctor Who franchise.
Bullshit.
They said franchise. They said franchise?
Let's see. Doctor Who.
Let's make sure before we condemn them completely.
Doctor Who makes history with first ever same-sex kiss between these actors as fans praise their electrifying chemistry. Let me see.
We've already talked about in our show today how many times man-on-man action has happened in Doctor Who. And it was done within the story.
Woman on woman, too, with Deep Breath. Peter Capaldi's first episode. I mean, that was a lizard woman, but there's still a lesbian kiss in the show before.
They're
and we didn't care. We didn't care.
They're dodging this. When I'm looking at this title, they're being very specific with what they're saying. Doctor Who makes history with first ever same-sex kiss between actor Ncuti Gatwa.
It's the same shit.
Saying that they're the first two. They've kissed each other for the first time.
Yeah, that's how it's going to come off.
We got with the Acolyte the other day, the biggest release in 2024 on Disney Plus.
Well, it's the same thing that we've seen. It's the same thing we saw with Collider. This is the biggest episode of Doctor Who ever in the new series because this is a reboot.
Yeah. This is what it's all desperation. It's desperation. It's feeding the people who are going to keep their very slow, rickety, barely on the tracks hype train going, while we sit here surrounded by actual fans in the chat who are just commiserating with us in this, who are gone. And this is us winning. Let's be honest. We can sit back. We're detached from this now. We're not looking at this with broken hearts or like we're not wringing our hands. We're detached. We are simply commenting on what we're seeing. And just happens to be man kissing today.
They're like the man kissing. The man kissing part is like they're praising it, but it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And
Jodie was gay. I'm pretty sure we've had Jack, who's like a fan favorite character. Nobody gives a shit.
Who wasn't just gay. He was called omnisexual, as in he would screw anything. Alien, human, left, right, as long as
they slowly
place to put it.
Turned him just gay. Eventually.
Yeah, and Torchwood.
Yeah, it's just you're just gay. I mean, that was the funny thing. Captain Jack would do anything. It didn't matter. Now,
his romance storyline in Torchwood was bad. There were parts of Torchwood I liked, but the female Cyberman and Jack's love story weren't ones.
So there we go. 2 more weeks, and then we'll be back for the Christmas special. Can't wait for that, because that's when we'll probably get Monday and Sunday, Monday. God damn, that's
at least we're gonna have This Is Mordor Country between now and then.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's going to take us almost to it, I guess. It'll take us almost there. 2 months.
We'll have a little bit of a break between.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
Actually, Adam, you're not going to care. I at least get a reward next weekend.
What?
House of the Dragon.
I care. I'm reviewing it.
You don't care like I do.
But that's my point. That's why my review is unique. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The first season was fine.
Yeah. So
we have something to look at. We have something other than shit to look forward to. We have like we have something nice.
I'm still looking forward to Arcane season 2. I don't know if you guys care about that. I'm very worried about it, but that's November.
Wait, that's November?
About it. I'm worried, but season 1 was like, I'd say it's the best thing Netflix has ever made. I mean, they didn't make it themselves, but the Netflix original, the best.
That's the key. That's the key, though, Jed. When it comes to Netflix, if they make it, it's probably going to be shit. If they have somebody else make it, it'll probably be good. I'm willing to bet it's still going to be good.
They just distributed it.
Yeah. And guess what? That's a show with a lesbian and kind of lefty-looking characters that
it's a very diverse show. Yeah.
So I didn't care about it. I did not care.
Good. The writing in it is top notch.
Adam, you would like it.
I'm not into League of Legends.
You don't need to be into League of Legends.
I know nothing about League of Legends. Doesn't come into it.
Still don't care. Anyway, not going to watch it. More people tell me to watch something, you know what's going to happen. I'm not going to watch it.
You know what? Well, don't fucking watch it, okay?
Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah, like instant reverse psychology is really going to work on me right here. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Dermy, what you got coming up?
We got Saturday Charity here in roughly 30 minutes or so. Might be a little late. I just need to get some food and set a few things up, playing some games. I will have some to discuss. I can't speak.
Use your words.
Discussion points to do that. I might take some of it solo. I might pose it to the whole people that are there, because there is some drama stuff that I kind of want to have my take on, but I think it would be best if I just do it for charity, because more people like it there on charity than on Ballbusters. Yeah, it's better there. Then I will have my Doctor Who review, like my personal one, out hopefully tomorrow by noon. Probably not, so don't bet on it, but I will put those out there. And then of course Monday I'll put out my viewership scores, because I also have Nielsen data to further my point that nobody gives a fudge about it. Oh, I can't wait. And then of course the Acolyte, which I'm period blood Force users. Let's go.
I am so ready for episode 3.
Then of course next Sunday I will also be doing House of the Dragon reviews, so I'm looking forward to that. Mine are going to be more, hey, I enjoy this, so let's talk about it, because I don't just hate things.
At least hopefully.
Mine's just mine's going to be, I'm watching this and I'm going to tell you if I'm amused. I'm going to tell you what I think about it as I go through it, just because I have no horse in the race. I'm not rooting for it to be bad or good. I'm going to see how I feel as I watch it. So that should be an interesting point of view. I call it my non-fan review, because I'm not a fan of George or Martin, anything he does. I'm not really a fan. So we'll see what happens. Jed, what you got coming up?
Just regularly scheduled videos and live streams. You can find me YouTube and Kick at Hollywood Scholar. There's a few streams I collaborate with Adam on that I'm sure he'll talk about in a moment here.
Yeah, all right. Rest of the night, I'll be on Saturday. Some point, I'll be in there when Dermy brings it to the group. I'll be playing Final Fantasy 14 tonight. It's what I'm doing just to relax right now. Tomorrow is Sunday. Jen and I and others will be on Roundtable, 2 p.m. Eastern, where we will talk Acolyte. And if you haven't seen my Acolyte review for episodes 1 and 2, it's on my channel. Go check it out. I think you'll enjoy my version of taking down Disney Star Wars. It's always fun for me to do that. Then next week, Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, where myself and this man right here will probably have some commiseration of our own for a little game called Dragon Age. Talk about that probably. Then let's see, rest of the week, as Dermy said, Acolyte drops Tuesday night. Expect my review of episode 3 some point Wednesday afternoon. Then end of the week, I'll be on Ballbusters. And Jed, what are we watching for drive-in next week?
Well, to celebrate Pride Month partially, and partially just to break everyone's brains involved, I'm very much looking forward to this film, because Adam hasn't seen it, hasn't even heard of it. But we will be watching the 2015 Ethan Hawke film Predestination. It is a wild ride. It is not going to be, we're praising the movie, just talking about how good it is, and it's not going to be us fighting about it. It is legitimately the strangest, wackiest mind fuck of a movie I've ever seen. It makes Nolan seem like Sesame Street. It is wild.
I have a feeling I'm going to be angry.
Oh yeah, no, you absolutely will be, especially when you find out where the baby came from. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yay. Oh God, I don't know what to say to that. I don't. Anyway, and then we'll be right back here after Drive-In for another episode of Doctor Who Cares Reviews. I want to thank everybody across all 3 chats. We love you all. Thank you for the support. Thank you for making us feel as though we are actually doing something for you with this. We are watching for this for you. We're talking to you about it. We're helping all of us deal with this stuff, and we thank each and every one of you. Hit that like button, subscribe to all the channels, and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, take it easy, everybody.